All right, today I'm working on a 2014 Chevy Tahoe, and the transmission on the bench is the 6L80. So what happened with this was the owner of the vehicle got into the car from her house. She got about 2 blocks from her house, and then the thing just dropped into neutral, no more forward gears. Reverse was okay, so she managed actually to back it up a couple of blocks back into her driveway, and then she had called me. I sent the tow truck for it, and we got it here. No codes present, transmission's full of oil. So there's a couple of things that would cause this problem, and they're both pretty common problems. The first one that'll cause this, well, what I did first is I had explained to her that it can be a couple of things. One of them, it could be a valve body problem, and the other one, we're going to have to pull the transmission out and do the transmission. So the first thing I'll do is drop out the valve body and look into that to see if that's our problem. If not, I will call you and let you know, and then we will just continue and pull the transmission out. So the two common problems that would cause this is either the number one check ball had shrunk down and blew through the plate to the other side, which would cause the drive oil to exhaust. And I printed out I'll show you this. I printed out a small hydraulic diagram that ATSG had on their website with the number one check ball. And the other thing that can cause this is a cracked 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch piston, which in this case, that is the problem. The piston is cracked. And GM knows about this, so they actually came out with an updated aluminum piston. Here is the piston right here. That is the problem that's cracked. I'm going to give you a close-up shot. The crack is on this side, and it's pretty big. So what I did first was we dropped the valve body out. I opened the valve body. I still have it open because now we're actually doing an overhaul. And anytime that I have one of these open, I like to use the Sonic's end plug, O-ring end plug kit on these 6L80s. So I checked out the number one check ball. I'll give you location of that, and I'll show you where it is also on the separator plate, what happens. But the check ball did not shrink down. That was perfect. So that means it will direct the oil correctly in that circuit, and the oil will go to the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. The oil is called drive 1 through 6 oil, or drive oil. And if the check ball had shrunk down, it exhausts through the drive. It's called the drive brake circuit. It exhausts right through there, and it doesn't get to the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutches, the clutch pack. But I'll show you that on the valve body close up. And of course, the other one is the cracked piston, which is the problem. And looking on, I get all my parts from Transtar, so looking on their website, it actually says, it's an AC Delco piston, updated 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch aluminum. So I'll be ordering that on Monday, as well as my banner kit and stuff like that. So I guess I will get a little closer here. I want to give you a nice close-up shot of this piston. I'm going to see if I can kind of hold it, see if I can get the shot and hold it and show you where this is cracked. And then we'll talk about the valve body. I'll show you the schematics. So I just wanted to do a quick video on this 6L80. I know I've had a video showing the shrunken check ball, but I never had one showing the cracked piston. And we'll get into more detail what happens when the check ball does shrink down and either get stuck in the case, in the separator plate, or blow through the separator plate. But anytime, and there were also no codes present, which kind of, I was leery about the check ball because normally you will have codes present. And I'll just check, I think it was maybe like a P20. I'm going to look up what codes may show up. I don't remember offhand, but I'll actually get that and tell you in a minute as soon as I finish. but I never did one with a cracked piston, so we're gonna go into that, and I'll let you know what codes are present. This one had no codes present, which, you know, kind of made me leery of it not being the check ball, but, you know, it is a fairly common problem, so I figured that, you know, let me check that first, because it might just be able to be repaired versus being overhauled, but unfortunately that was not the case. So, all right, let me get that information for you, and I'm also going to get a little closer. I'll give you a shot of this piston. We're going to talk about the valve body, all right? So I'll be right back. All right, first, let's go over the contents of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5 reverse clutch drum. That would be this one. And remember, these drums do crack around the weld here, and you want to make sure the seal is also as good, because that can cause some problems, and make sure you got no leaks around here. Some of these later style drums do have a bleed hole, so in case you see some fluid coming out of there, if you're checking it for a leak, that's supposed to be there. All right, so we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 balance piston. We have the Belvo return spring for the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch piston. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch piston, which has the crack here. I'm going to give you a nice close-up shot of that. That's pretty bad. That's real bad. I don't even know if you can see it now, but I'll give you a nice shot of that. All right, here is the 1, 2, 3, 4 apply piston housing, and there's an O-ring that goes here that got all screwed up where that where the crack was on the piston. So this is all very, very rough here. Here is the Belvo return spring for the 3.5 reverse clutch piston, and here is the 3.5 reverse clutch applied piston. All right, so let's get this here with these. All right, let me see if I can kind of zoom in on that major crack in the piston. So let me just put it down like right there, and let's see if I can zoom in on that. You should be able to see that right here. And that's pretty common. So we're going to get the updated piston. And you know what? What I'll do is when I get it, I'll give you a shot of the updated piston, because I think it may look a little different to know that it's the updated one. But I will give you a shot of both of them. This way, if it's already in the transmission that you're working on, you can say, hey, this is the updated one, no need to buy it. But when it comes through, regardless, even like if these are good or bad, I always change them. Because as you can see, it is a problem. Let me move this up. And once again, there is that major crack in the piston. So there's the problem. And now what I'll do is switch angles, and we're just going to talk about the valve body, which would be the other common problem to cause no forward, but you would still have reverse. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, so here is the upper section of the valve body, and the number one check ball lives right here. All right, so when that check ball shrinks down and blows through the plate to the lower section of the valve body, it creates a major leak in the circuit. So of course you're going to lose your forward gears because it's your drive 1 through 6 oil. And when that happens, it also may be accompanied by a couple of codes. One is a P2723, clutch pressure control solenoid valve 5 stuck off, or a P2728, clutch pressure control solenoid valve performance. All right, and anytime you see these codes with the solenoid stuck on, stuck off, or performance codes, that's usually a mechanical code. All right, so let's take a look at the separator plate. So the plate sits here, all right, and then we're dealing with these two feed holes right here. So this is the drive 1 through 6 oil, and this will feed the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch, and this is the drive B oil, or drive brake circuit. All right, so when the check ball blows through, it can no longer seal this circuit, and the oil will exhaust right through there causing no forward gears. So here's a little thing I had printed out. Okay, so here's the function of the number 1 check pull. Here's your drive 1 through 6 oil, and this is your drive brake circuit, and you can see the hole is blocked, and it goes on to feed the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. When the check ball is shrunk down or missing, okay, here's your drive 1 through 6 oil. It's going to go right into the drive brake circuit, which is open to exhaust the clutch select, open to exhaust through the clutch select valves, which exhaust the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch feed. So you will not have any drive forward ranges. So those are the 2 common problems that'll cause no forward. So I'm going to, of course, these are the check balls that come through, but when you get the overhaul kit, the Transtech overhaul kit, you know, you get the different ones like the Tourlon check balls. So of course they're going to be changed. You don't want to put those back because that's a problem. And again, I have my O-ring end plug kit I'm going to put in. And as another upgrade from Transgo, we have the new pressure regulator valve set up. There's a spring seat, so that's going to get put in as well. All right, so that's about it for this 2014 Chevy Tahoe that all of a sudden lost forward gears but had reverse. And we found this clutch piston to be cracked, causing a loss of pressure to the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. All right, so we're going to upgrade the piston banner kit with pistons, which would be the molded pistons, O-ring end plug kit, the valve body, different check balls in the valve body, Tecum filter, and the converters. The code on the converter is normally JMBX, and these things love to blow up. Most of the time, that's another common problem. And sometimes these converters are even hard to get because they were blowing up left and right. And a lot of these suppliers, even Transtar and the other people, didn't have them. They would have to build yours because they couldn't keep them on the shelf. So that's another, you know, problem with these. So if you are working on these, I certainly highly recommend to change the torque converter. And I guess that's about it for the 6L80 Trans. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we will see you next one. All right, so on the 6L80, I have the new updated piston for the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. Here also is a new balance piston, and I got new set of snap rings too. All right, so here is the old one. This is the one that's cracked. And the part number on this here says 242-38700, and the part number on this one is 242-66364. It also says Gibbs on it. I don't know if that means anything, but you know, technically if you order this, I mean, this one really should not be available anymore. You shouldn't be able to get it. Everything should be replaced by this one. But the piston looks the same, but this is the updated one. So I have, you know, the new, I have the piston housing in there already, and I have the new seal on there. 3.5 reverse piston is in. So next is just to load this in, the balance piston, new snap ring, get the new clutches, put the clutches in, and I'll be able to get this done. I got most of it built up already. The pump is done, new rings on that. So, but I just kind of wanted not to go further until I showed you guys the new piston for the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. So again, here is, even down here you can see the crack. This is really bad. This crack is really bad. You know, I don't know if you can, again, see that. And the new piston. So again, it's a 2014 Chevy Tahoe, 6L80 Trans, loss of forward. She got about a few blocks away from the house. The thing just downshifted. It probably just fell out of speed because it was a total pressure loss on the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. I mean, I don't think she was probably doing more than 20 miles an hour. So That's it. No more forward. She reversed it home. We picked it up with the tow truck. And first thing I checked was the valve body for that number 1 check ball, but it was not shrunk down. If it would have been, that would have pretty much been it, because that can cause the same problem. But that also was accompanied, possibly could be accompanied by codes. But another thing is that as soon as this happened, she just reversed it and went back home. There were no codes present here. So that's it. I'm just gonna continue. I'm gonna put this drum together, finish doing that. I got the valve body done. Pretty much everything is done. I have my new filter, and right here it says AC Delco. And that's it. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next one. Oh, you know, I just wanted to remind you guys on these 6L80 drums, 6L80, 6L90, you got to watch with the snap ring. All right, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch I just loaded in. Here's the snap ring, and the opening has to go here, because there's no land here for the snap ring to sit in. So if you don't pay attention to how it goes in, and you just put this thing in, as soon as you hit drive, this sucker's gonna pop right out and it's not gonna move. So just be careful. So there's one here for the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. And then like about 180 degrees apart, it's gonna be here for the 3, 5 reverse. All right, so the snap ring will sit up here. So you gotta put the opening there. All right, so just be careful when you're putting this, when these snap rings in. All right? And also this pressure plate here, I don't know if you can see that, it says, pressure plate here says up. Right there, if you can see it, but just look for that too. All right, so again, 2014 Chevy Tahoe 6L80 stopped moving forward. All of a sudden, we found the cracked piston. All right, so you can either have, again, to cause this problem, cracked piston, or the number 1 check ball shrinks down and blows through the plate. Both of those would pretty much cause the same thing, no forward movement. The one with the check ball problem, again, may cause some codes to show up. This had no codes, but as soon as it happened, the lady just reversed it back. She was a block or 2 away from her house and parked it back in a driveway and called us, and we sent the tow truck to come and get it. So I guess that is about it for this 6L80. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next one.